Friday again. I'm kind of like not centered. That's okay. You guys can't see the fireside right here. It's Friday. I don't know any of you guys that follow me. Like, look, I actually have manageable-ish hair. It's not 8 feet long like Rapunzel. But yeah, we're here. I'm just gonna kind of wait till everybody trickles in a little bit. Welcome to Fireside Friday, everybody. It's awesome. It's Friday. Again, thank goodness. I'm just gonna play a little music here like I always do in the beginning. Hey, what's going on? Sup? And yeah, I'm just gonna get my notes ready to go. So you guys all filter in, hang out with me. Let's listen to some tunes. Again, by Zade Wolf. Music by Zade Wolf. Hard to see, I know, but it's up there. Dab to Friday. I like it.
I'm waking up, looking at the picture. I see a storm. It's got the sky painted black.
Zade Wolf.
Is this the revolution? Do you hear the heart beating? I had a dream. I was rising from the fallout. I'm building.
All right, who's joining us here? Hey, Kevin Murray. What's up? How you doing? Welcome in. Welcome to Friday, or Fireside Friday, I should say. Welcome, my friend. This guy's a really good dude. If you guys haven't, follow Dr. Kevin J. Murray. He's absolutely awesome. This is us right now. We're waking up. Good stuff. White man overbite? No? All right, guys. Thank you so much again for joining me on Friday. I mean, come on. It's Friday. What can't get any better than that? Besides football. Am I right? Am I right? I think so. I think I'm right. All right, let me get my stuff together here. I'm all discombobulated today, per usual. But that's okay. You guys don't mind, right? Okay, guys. Preseason week 2. Yay. I mean, it's as close as we get to regular season football as we can hope for so far right now. September is only a few more weeks away, guys. We can do it. I know we can together. What's with the trophy behind me? Well, in case you didn't know, I am from St. Louis, and we just won the Stanley Cup. First one ever, considering the St. Louis Blues have been around for forever. But my St. Louis Blues, we won. We won the Stanley Cup. That's what that is. There's also another trophy back here that you can't see. I would get up and get it, but I'm lazy. That's also for me winning my my league, my very first year in the league. And I still have the trophy. I'm never letting it go. Let's go Blues. That's right. Let's go Blues. It's about time. It was getting a little obnoxious there for a while and stressful. But enough about hockey, which I love. We're here to talk. Yeah. I'm sure, okay, I know you have one for the Ducks. That's fine. You in Anaheim can have fun with your Stanley Cup. This is our first one. Let me have some fun with it, okay? Just, you know, hey, whatever. You didn't miss anything if you're late. I usually start a few minutes late anyway, so yeah. We're here to talk about football, guys, though. Not trophies and hockey and all that kind of fun stuff. But again, welcome back. This is Fireside Friday. I'm going to be doing this throughout the preseason, throughout the regular season. Hello, children, my stepchildren, I should say. How are you doing? Welcome in. And yeah, in the regular season, this is going to be way more fun. We're going to be talking starts and sits. I'll be answering your guys' questions. See where we can help you in your lineups, but we're not there yet. We're still in preseason. So let's just kind of talk about some stuff that's going on. And if you guys have questions for me, well, step doesn't necessarily mean adopted. It just means you married into kids. So I'm pretty sure that's in the dictionary. But no, I'm just kidding. It might be in the dictionary. I don't know. But yeah, I'm a stepmom. That's my handle. So for all of you who don't know me, you can read it right there. My name is Lauren, and my handle is Stepmom Lauren. I am a stepmom. I have 2-step kills. 2-step kills. I killed them, apparently. No, 2-step kids, children, if you will. And they're grown. They're big kids now. So, but I still kept it. I'm still a stepmom. And that's what I do. I do fantasy football. I am a writer for The Fantasy Footballers. You can find them anywhere podcasts drop. Check out their website. I'm one of their writers. And speaking of websites, yeah, it's your stepdad too, Chris. I like it. There's a lot of us out there, a step family. We're, I don't know, like I'm not an evil stepmom, I don't think. I hope not. I try to be cool. But, you know, hey, who knows? Maybe my kids hate me and I don't even know. Whatever. I'm ignorant and in the dark. I don't mind. But anyway, you guys can find all my work, podcasts, other videos, my articles on my website as well, which is stepmomlauren.com. If you Google it, you'll get a lot of pornography. Let's just be honest. Like, I can't hide behind that anymore. It's there. Sorry. So there's another SML out there, you know, doing her thing. It ain't me. But if you do Google fantasy stepmom Lauren, oddly enough, it's all clean. It's all my stuff. So there you go. Who knew? So guys, preseason week 2 is starting. Last night was super depressing for the Cardinals, sadly, because we all love Kyler Murray. I love Kyler Murray. And it was just not a good game for him. Apparently, the defense did not know how to stop the blitz, so that's all they kept doing, is blitzing after blitzing after blitzing, and Kyler looked human, and that was unfortunate. But it's preseason week 2. You could tell it got to him. He didn't like it. So let's hope that's just kind of a bump in the road, and they learn from this and move on. Hopefully Cliff Kingsbury's offense can kind of step it up. Is it just me? I did not see any David Johnson. Like, I didn't see him on the sidelines. I didn't see any interviews or anything like that. Was that just me? Did I miss something? If so, please let me know, because when I watched that game, I'm like, where is David Johnson? Hello, no interviews with him? He's really cool. What up? Anyway, that was sad. So here's some like preseason news, hype, things that kind of came to my attention. If you guys have questions, feel free to hit me. If I miss it, ask again. Anyway, but Sean McVay, he's all about Todd Gurley still. So apparently his knee is doing just fine. Who is this person? Oh yeah, Lanky, not so smooth, I love you. For the sake of the ballers, I hope Kyler works out. I know. My heart bleeds for them. I no longer have a football team, so I feel like I adopt all of my friends and now my boss's team. So I really, really, really hope it works out. Anyway, Sean McVay is like doubling down on how Todd Gurley is like fine. He's not worried about it. He apparently ran 21 miles an hour in practice. He's hitting speeds that are as high as he's ever had, according to Sean McVay. Yeah, we'll see. And then, I can't read you. Something more. Sorry, it's too far away. My eyes are bad. It does look like he could struggle against that offensive line, but it's still early. Let's hope they work out some kinks, and let's hope they utilize DJ correctly with the bad offensive line, because that is what he is good for, is protecting the quarterback when you have a bad offensive line. Just dink and dunk right off to him. Don't force anything stupid like Mike McCoy did, or whatever his name was. I even forget. Byron Leftwich and that whole thing. It's just garbage. In one ear, out the other. Don't like it. So let's hope they kind of change things around a little bit. Because as you guys know, if you guys know, I am 100% all aboard David Johnson. So I really hope that he does well. Otherwise, I look like a fool, which I probably do anyway. I don't really mind, but I mind for you guys. I want you guys to win in your league. So I do all this research. I look at all the statistics. I project them forward. So I want you guys to win your leagues. Me, it's like, yeah, I want to win for pride, but I want you guys to win. That's what makes me feel good. Anyway, Sean McVay still loves Todd Gurley. No type of situation going on there. And then Andre Hogg. What type of football am I talking about? American football. I did play soccer for a long time, but we're talking about American football here. The NFL. DJ will be okay. He did decent last year. He did, but he was still disappointing. So if you took him in those first rounds, you were a little upset, even though he did finish either 9th or 10th, depending on what ranking and scoring that you're looking at. Whatever. So here's something interesting, you guys. Melvin Gordon, no more news on him, which is really upsetting that we haven't heard anything. Not surprising, but still bad news for Melvin Gordon owners out there like yours truly right here. So the Chargers have actually come out and said, per, Eric Williams from ESPN, and they've come out and said that they're going to use Austin Eckler and Justin Jackson in a 50-50 split backfield. If you believe it, then Justin Jackson going in the mid-11th round in half PPR is an absolute steal if they're going to be using them 50-50. Now, Austin Eckler is pretty explosive, and I like his standalone value as well, but he's going pretty high with this whole Melvin Gordon news. So if you guys want a piece of that running back by committee is what it sounds like right now, Justin Jackson might be the one you want to go for because you can get him super duper late. Just interesting to note. Speaking of the Chargers, Keenan Allen is hurt again. Shocking. Weird. So he has some kind of a high ankle issue or an ankle issue. I wasn't really 100% sure what that was. But he also had a swollen knee, apparently. So his leg's like falling off, which sucks. That's not good. We don't want to see Keenan Allen struggling. However, all of you Mike Williams owners, if you guys are already drafting or if you're going into your drafts, yeah, hold out totally. Lanky, not so smooth. He may hold out. He wants to be there week 1, but I don't think the Chargers want him there week 1 from what it looks like or sounds like. So I don't know. We'll see. But Keenan Allen is hurt again. Shocking. This gives a lot of boost to Mike Williams. I've been trying to get him in my Fantasy Footballers Riders League. Jeff Greenwood wouldn't deal with me, but that's okay. I don't blame him. We did end up getting a deal done, just not with Mike Williams. So target him, you guys. Target Mike Williams. I really like him in this draft. I'll start going over some other guys you can target too, so go for it. Let's see. And, oh, again with Arizona. Some more bad news on Arizona. I don't generally, really harp on defenses all that much. It's not, I'm not an IDP person, per se. I do have a league where we play a defensive player. But something to keep in mind, Patrick Peterson is a cornerback for the Arizona Cardinals. Corner, not quarter, in case you guys are new to fantasy football. He's a cornerback. He is suspended for, I think, 8 games, I believe. And his buddy, who plays across from him, Robert Alford, he is also out for 2 months with a leg injury. So the Cardinals secondary is starting to look pretty Swiss cheesy. So that is something to keep in mind when you guys are trying to figure out starts and sits against Arizona. If you guys are looking at those starters and stuff against Arizona, their secondary sucks right now and not so good. So that's something to keep in mind and keep an eye on as we move forward, what other injuries are going to happen on there. Frankly, I don't really care all that much for Arizona's sake because I don't really care about real football. I like fantasy football. For Arizona fans, I'm sorry. That is sad. Let's take a moment. Okay, it's done. Let's see what else. Oh, Antonio Brown. He's apparently close to practicing. Close. I don't know what that means. I hope he still has, feet. That would kind of be nice. And whoever last time said if you can't go 3.61 seconds without playing with your hair, guess what? Look at this. How you like that now? What? Look. Playing with my hair. Deal with it. Because it's just got a cut. So it's nice and clean and shiny. And so I like to play with my hair. Whatever. Deal with it. Anywho, there is also guarded optimism about Andrew Luck starting. Guarded optimism starting week 1. That's bad. I don't like that at all. Because originally they diagnosed this as a calf strain. They've come back and realized they were wrong. It's a high ankle problem, which is a big deal when you're a quarterback, relying on your extremities, which all football players do. But it's especially important for Andrew Luck. This is bad news. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Oddly enough, our fantasy PT, sorry, Matt Betts, I'm throwing you under the bus right now. So our physical therapist who does all of our injury reports for the fantasy footballers, he took Andrew Luck, I think it was a half an hour before the news broke about how serious Andrew Luck's injury was. So it's kind of ironic that he's our injury guy, and then he ended up picking out the injury-prone quarterback in the 5th round. It was pretty funny. And I hate all of my Rider colleagues now. I'm just kidding, I don't. But we had a really brutal draft that we just finished, and it was harsh. I'm not gonna lie. So let's see. Guys, anyone who had placement or any kind of, stack or whatever investment in Antonio Callaway, he also has a high ankle sprain. Carted off the field, I believe, is in a walking boot. That's not good either, but there are so many mouths to feed on the Browns offense. So I don't know. I'm out on Antonio Callaway completely. Cam Newton is looking good. He's throwing his deep balls in practice. His shoulder doesn't seem to be bothering him, which is really good news for fantasy football because we love Cam Newton. When Cam Newton is healthy and he plays on the field, there's fantasy points to abound for everybody, and we really like that. The Lower Leg Podcast by Jason. Yeah, that sounds about right. So let's see. Any more news I might have missed here, guys, that you guys want to bring to attention that I totally missed out on? I don't know. There wasn't really anything to... I don't know. Callaway's not suspended. He is suspended. He is suspended. I think you're right. And he's injured. So he's injured and suspended. So there's 2 things going against Antonio Callaway completely. So I wouldn't even stash him if you guys really wanted to and you have a deep bench or something. So yes, you are right. Antonio Callaway is suspended. Thank you for fixing that for me. I have too much crap that goes in this brain. Some things just fall out. Yeah, double ouch is absolutely true. So guys, how many of you have drafts coming up? I've already had 3 drafts. So I've got another one coming up Saturday. And then I have another one coming in Wednesday. Am I interested in Higgins? Yes. Late round dart throw, interested in Higgins? I am. I'm not going to force it, and I'm not going to reach for him, obviously. But if he's available, Rashard Higgins is definitely someone to keep an eye on with this Antonio Callaway news. You got 3 coming up. Yep, Stoney, I hear you. I do too. I think I'm in 7 leagues this year, 8 leagues. And they're all starting to come, fast and furious. So this Saturday I have a draft. So I figured I want to share with you guys 125 plus mock drafts, that's okay. You know, it's still fun to do that. You know, I wish I could like buy my mock drafted teams and insert them into my real leagues because I love my mock drafted teams so much and they never end up looking anything like my real teams in my leagues. But you got your main one coming up. Awesome. Is that one for money? I bet you that one is for money. Anyway, I got one coming up on Saturday, and it's one of those live drafts with the board, and we have to shout it out and everything. We're all, you know, it's a bunch of old dudes. Sorry. No offense to anyone who might be watching it. Not a bunch of old dudes. Some old dudes. Ray, I'm talking to you. But anyway, they like to make fun of me a little bit because I'm the only girl. It's totally fine. I don't mind that at all. But it should be super fun. But I want you guys to have some names in mind because we all know who we're going to take first, second, third. I mean, those rounds are, yeah, I know, I love the old school drafts too. But the first, second, third rounds are kind of easy. But it's when you start getting to the fourth, fifth, and sixth and later that it's like, I didn't really either pay that much attention or I did and I just don't remember or what's going to be the better value, things like that. So I'm going to throw out some names to you guys that I think you should keep in mind. These aren't like you absolutely have to draft them, but if they're available and depending on how you're building your roster and building your team, these are names to keep in mind that you might want to take a deeper look at. So Curtis Samuel, I love Curtis Samuel as well. He's on my list. Lanky, not so smooth. He's on my list. So just hold your horses. You're stealing my thunder here. Anywho, let's go ahead and start with running backs. Okay, guys, I know that the San Francisco backfield has been so incredibly crowded, but there's been injuries. We're talking Kyle Shanahan here, and the name that stands out to me the most is Tevin Coleman. He is healthy, and he knows Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan knows him, and he's going at around the, early, middle, in half PPR, fifth round. I mean, that's pretty good for someone who probably could be the RB1 on that team. You're going to get him at a pretty good discounted price. You blame Matt Harmon for the Curtis Samuel love. Yeah, I understand because his reception perception, Matt Harmon's reception perception, exclusive to the Ultimate Draft Kit for the fantasy footballers, which you can buy at my website, stepmomlauren.com. It's right there in the sidebar. Nail it, get it. Guys, be prepared for your drafts. It's the best draft kit that I've ever used. I absolutely love it. Plus, they have an app so you can take players off of the tier breakdowns as you go along in your drafts. It's super awesome this year. Anywho, yes, I do blame Matt Harmon as well, but there has been injuries with him and Cam Newton. It just hasn't been the right time for him to break out. I think this could be a year for him. I am taking Curtis Samuel when I can. Tevin Coleman. Let's get back to him. I like Tevin Coleman a lot. He's in about around the fifth round. Keep your eye on him. He's also good in PPR because he can catch the ball. James White. I love James White. Another crowded backfield where nobody knows what to do with Bill Belichick's running backs. So Sony Michel's injured. They brought in Damian Harris, possibly as that insurance policy for Sony Michel. So you have James White here who's kind of like, no, I'm cool too, guys. In PPR, he can be a stud. Okay, last year, he had 123 targets and 87 receptions. He had 7 touchdowns in the receiving game and only 5 in the run game. He is not good for standard. He is good for half and full PPR. And I think in rushing last year, he only got 425 yards. And in receiving yards, he got over 700. So if you're in standard, stay away from James White. If you're in PPR, target him. You can also get him in the 5th round. He's going around 507. So keep your eye on him if you're in those leagues. Another one that I like too, especially with Todd Gurley, and even standalone in spite of Todd Gurley, I like Darrell Henderson. He's an absolute beast. 22 touchdowns in college, almost 2,000 yards. The kid is talented and incredibly explosive. I really like him. And guys, you can get him at the end of the 7th round. Why am I having such a problem talking today? Thank you for bearing with me. Anywho, you can get him towards the end of the 7th round in half PPR right now. I don't foresee that being real because a lot of people are taking him earlier than that. I've seen him go off the board as early as the 5th round. So if you want him that badly, understand that it may be a reach. Darnell Anderson, sure, go for it. If that's who you really want, I'm all about it. These are the guys I picked out for these middle rounds. I don't even think Darnell Anderson is even getting drafted. So, sure, M. Brown love, but he hasn't looked great yet. Are you talking about Darrell Henderson? It is very possible. Again, this is 7th round guys. These are guys that hopefully you've already started getting most of your starters. These are ones you might be able to stream against good defenses. I just like Darrell Henderson. I like him with the whole Todd Gurley situation. I like him besides the Todd Gurley situation, like I said. So 1st round pick, who do I take? It depends on where I'm at. if I'm early, I'm going to go with one of the good running backs. It's going to be Saquon Barkley, Zeke, Alvin Kamara, David Johnson. If I'm late, I'm going wide receiver. DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, those guys. So it just depends on where that is. It's a very ambiguous question. Oh, let's make sure that goes. All right, the next guy, this might like make you guys barf in your mouth, but Royce Freeman. I know it's a Darnell Anderson joke. I just got it. I'm slow. Don't worry about it. Royce Freeman, guys, don't throw up in your mouth too bad, okay? But Royce Freeman, it is going to be a split backfield between him. Did he really? Because I'm like, what? Because isn't there a Darnell Anderson though, or am I just making that up? I thought there was. Or am I just messing that up with Sam Darnold? I don't know. See, now I'm confused. Did Jason confuse me this badly? Oh my gosh, I'm going to have a conversation with him. But yeah, Royce Freeman. I like Royce Freeman a lot. You can get him in the 8th round. He's going to be splitting carries with Phillip Lindsay. Not just because that's what, the cool popular kids say, but Phillip Lindsay is still, kind of banged up. He did not get the first team reps with Flacco like Royce Freeman did. The new management wants to see what their toy can do because he didn't really get utilized last year because of Phillip Lindsay. Now, am I going to say that? I'm not telling you Phillip Lindsay is trash. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that they're going to be utilizing Royce Freeman more from what everyone is saying in the coaching staff, from the beat reporters. That's kind of what I'm getting at. So keep your eye on Royce Freeman. He's available. I like him. They're also going to limit Phillip Lindsay a little bit to keep him healthy and keep him on the field. Not bad. Phillip Lindsay is very expensive. He's going in the 5th. Royce Freeman is going in the 8th. So out of those two, I'd rather have Royce just because of that value. So I'm trying to let you know, number 1 overall, who do I go with? It depends on where I'm at in my draft. If I'm in like the 1st or 2nd position, I'm going to go Saquon Barkley. But, if I'm like at the, are you thinking like if I was in the 101, is that what you're asking? I would go Saquon Barkley. After that, I would go Alvin Kamara. After that, I would go David Johnson. I don't want to really have to deal with the Zeke situation just in case. I hope that helps. And if I didn't answer your question before, sorry, my bad. All right. And then after that, guys, my last guy to keep an eye on is going to be Duke Johnson. Okay. Sounds strange. I know, but he's with the Texans right now. And Deshaun Watson has never had a running back that can actually catch the ball. One of the biggest critiques about this whole move is that they don't target the running back. I wonder why. They have Lamar Miller. They had Alfred Blue. Come on, guys. They have Duke Johnson now. He can actually catch the ball. David Johnson may be made of glass. I doubt it. He wasn't, he didn't miss out last year. So I love David Johnson. Careful your words there, champ. I love David Johnson. Anyway, he might suck. I don't know, but I still love him. So guys, Duke Johnson, keep your eyeballs on him. He's going in the 10th round, and he could be a PPR machine with Deshaun Watson, who when they get into the red zone, he either dumps it off, probably to Duke Johnson, or he runs it in himself. So really like Duke Johnson this year. So next we are going to get, actually, you know what? I had slides for this. Look how good I was. I had slides and I totally forgot. So now we're going to go into the wide receivers. New DJ is a stud. Thank you. Or new. It goes by pretty fast. Tyreek Hill should be banished. I agree. There's a lot of things I think that should happen with certain players in the NFL, but what do I know? Yes, and Duke Johnson's value did go up with Kiki Kuti hurt. I totally get it, and that is going to be pretty consistent with that happening as well. So just keep that in mind. Hot take, Duke Johnson ends the better RB on the season. Hot take, he'll probably be the second leading the second leading receiver on the team. That ain't that spicy, bro. I like that. I am not surprised by that whatsoever. And Lamar Miller is totally meh. I mean, you couldn't have said it better. Love it. Okay, so as you guys can see, here are these wide receivers that I want to target. I love Dede. I did a whole article about the Jags offense and how I think Nick Foles and DeFilippo together, once again, are going to function in that offense. It's on my website, stepmomlauren.com, if you want to read it. But guys, Tyler Lockett. I love Tyler Lockett, and I know everyone is all about the Seattle run heavy, run first, never throw. That's Russell Wilson, guys. They're going to throw the ball. You can't establish a good run game unless you have some sort of decent passing game. And Tyler Lockett, even though last year they were a running game, blew up. I love Tyler Lockett again this year because guess what? Doug Baldwin is gone. Behind him is David Moore. Behind him is rookie DK Metcalf. Possible. But who knows? He may have a slow start. He may have huge boom bust games. No matter what, he is going to be that consistent target. In fact, I'm coming out with an article. It should be published here pretty soon on the Fantasy Footballers. It's 3 wide receivers you can trust. Tyler Lockett is one of them, guys. He's going in the 5th round. I love him. He is the wide receiver 1 on that team, no question. And yes, they're going to throw the ball. Just maybe not as much as they run, but they're going to have to do it. Now, Calvin Ridley is next. I really like Calvin Ridley as well because you can get him in the 5th round. I like Larry Fitzgerald too, don't get me wrong, but he has a lot of chemistry with Kyler Murray. They played at Texas A&M together. Hit up Michelle Majuk. She's Ball Blastem. That's Ball Blast EM on Twitter. She will give you the lowdown on how much she loves Christian Kirk and Kyler Murray together. I'm actually going to be on their podcast tonight. We are recording this evening for the Ball Blast girls, Kate, Michelle, my ladies. So don't forget to check that out. Follow them, subscribe to their podcast. They're great girls, incredibly fantasy football knowledgeable, and they can help you win your leagues. I love them. And I'm going to be on their podcast, so why not listen to it? It's pretty fun. Anywho, another one I like a lot is Mike Williams. Okay, Keenan Allen is beat up. Get it. Melvin Gordon, holdout. Oh no. Split backfield between Austin Eckler and Justin Jackson. So now we're looking at Mike Williams. Jeff Greenwood. I know you can't hear me, and I'm sure you're not watching this, but I want Mike Williams. I tried to get a trade in for Mike Williams. It didn't work. I wasn't trying to pull the wool over his eyes or anything, although it might have seemed like it, but I really want Mike Williams. He's going to be incredibly consistent. I really like him. Guys, you can get him in the end of the 5th round as well. So you can take stud wide receivers, you can take stud running backs, and you can still fall back on potentially the wide receiver 1 of the Chargers. God forbid anything happened to Keenan Allen again, which seems to be more often than not. But we don't ever want to wish injury on anybody, but I do like Mike Williams a lot. He is a little pricey in the 5th round, but still, I think that value is there. All right, Christian Kirk. We already said that one. Curtis Samuel. Love Curtis Samuel. His reception perception, as someone brought up, is a lot better than DJ Moore's. I think he's finally going to have that chemistry and gel with Cam Newton now that both of them are healthy. That is going to be absolutely critical. But again, you can get Curtis Samuel in the 7th round. So if you're looking for, I don't want to even call him a dart throw. If you're looking for someone to stash to see if he can pan out this year, pick up Curtis Samuel, and you can do it in the 7th round, like I said. D.D. Westbrook. I don't know why, but I am secretly in love with the Jags offense. I don't really want to admit it to anybody in case someone makes fun of me. I'm not quite sure if that's cool yet or not, but I do. I really like the Jags offense. I like what Nick Foles is able to bring for all of these wide receivers, and I think D.D. Westbrook is going to be the one that becomes the primary beneficiary of between the line of scrimmage and the 20-yard mark, which is where Nick Foles really likes to throw. He has beautiful deep balls downfield. I get it. I am well aware of that. But the majority of his passes tend to be in that area, and they're mostly productive. Now, I did a comparison between D.D. Westbrook, Keelan Cole, and Marquise Lee compared to the Philadelphia wide receivers in Nelson Aguilar, Alshon Jeffrey, and I can't remember who the downfield threat was at that time. Maybe it was just those 2 wide receivers. But basically, Nelson Aguilar is D.D. Westbrook. They line up the same. D.D. Westbrook should be getting a majority of that volume. He probably will get the goal line work. They don't have a Zach Ertz type position on the Jags. I know a lot of people like Josh Oliver this year, but he's a rookie tight end. So I don't know. Who knows about that? And whether or not they make the playoffs, I don't care. I care about fantasy football points, so I don't really care. Whatever. They are a close team because I live in Florida, so I should be go Jags, but I don't know. After my Rams left me, I'm bitter. I'm bitter about planting my flag on any teams besides the Saints. I think they're the closest ones that I'll come to because of their connection to St. Louis, but that is a story for another time. All right, guys, and speaking of the Eagles that we were just touching base with before, Deshaun Jackson. In fact, I just got him in a trade from Jeff Greenwood. I love Deshaun Jackson this year. And not only do I love Deshaun Jackson, I love what Deshaun Jackson can do for Carson Wentz. Every offense that Deshaun Jackson has been on, he has made the quarterback better. He is the deep threat that they desperately need. It's good for real football. It's good for fantasy football. And he's going in the 9th round, sometimes middle, sometimes late 9th round. He is a streamable option against defenses that are very poor against the downfield threat. So pick him up, stash him. I love him. I absolutely love him this year. I'm getting Deshaun Jackson in every single league that I possibly can. That's how much I believe in him and how much I really like him. Is he a week in, week out starter? I don't think so. Not yet. I'll have to kind of see how he works out, but I'm definitely going to be, like I said, streaming him against specific defenses. So let me just see if I can catch up here, guys. If I miss one of your questions or comments, just feel free to hit me up again. So you're wearing your Rams Stadium shirt right now. Not a fan, but just building the new stadium. Hey, that's okay. I don't begrudge anyone in LA. You guys had the Rams before St. Louis did, so you guys have more of a right to them than we do. I just hate that they left. That sucks. I want a football team, and I'm a diehard St. Louis person, such as my Blues. I'm a huge St. Louis Cardinals fan, so I don't like it. So, I hope Tyreek or Mahomes misses significant time. I don't know about Mahomes. That'd be sad. Unless you're playing against him, I can totally understand that. So, yeah, I know. Cronky, I know. I 100% know. And Jerry Jones as well. Kind of pivotal in making that whole thing happen. But, again, I'm just bitter. Super bitter. Yeah, Chargers are good. We'll see. We'll see. I like Phillip Rivers. I like Mike Williams. But, you know. Only injury we'll hope for is Wentz. Ew, gross. Don't say that. We don't ever want to wish injury on somebody. And your dad was okay, so Chris Mo. Hey, Chris. What's going on? Your dad was a Rams fan. That's okay. I forgive you. It disappeared, so I couldn't really see what happened after that. Is Todd Gurley worth the risk? Yes. Taking him, he's falling in the second round in a lot of mock drafts that I've done, and in a lot of regular drafts that I've already done. I almost called it Mac drafts. Them Mac drafts, they're sure fun to do. Mock drafts and in regular drafts. He's been falling to the second round. If you're like, pick 1 through 5, I wouldn't take him. But if you're at the end and you have a choice, you know, let's say you're in the 11th spot or something out of 12 and you want to take like a stud wide receiver and have it circle right back to you and get Todd Gurley, no problem with that at all. I think they're going to use him. He'll have a little bit of regression to workload, but he'll still produce for you. And, oh, hey, I know. Hi, how you doing? Oh, yeah, LA back to St. Louis back to LA. I hear you. A lot of people did. In fact, LA, I saw a bunch of videos. They had such a great send-off. They were, like, really nice about it, like, moving to St. Louis. We were not nice. St. Louis was not nice about them moving back to LA. It's not. I'm trying. I'm trying really hard to be cool with it, but I'm not. Like, I'm not a Rams fan anymore. It's just not what I do. Garbage. But I do love Todd Gurley. I like them in fantasy. I just can't root for them in, like, real life. All right, so I said Deshaun Jackson. My last one is Dante Moncrief. Love Moncrief. I do. Everyone thinks that James Washington is like the hot take. He very well could become the wide receiver too. He's really proving himself in preseason. Last year, he only had a 43% catch rate. That's garbage. And Ben Roethlisberger, actually, I don't really have a team. Like I said, I don't really have a team. I sort of like the Saints simply because they have a connection to St. Louis. I like the Eagles. A bunch of my friends are Eagles fans. I like the Lions. My husband's a Lions fan. I don't know. I like fantasy football. I'm not planting my flag on any one team this year. Kind of makes it a little bit more fun. That way I don't have to let my fandom get in the way of all sorts of stuff. Moncrief will be a top 36. Okay, I get it, guys, but here. Let me throw this out to you, okay? So last year, the Steelers had only a 0.3% differential between their wide receiver 1 and their wide receiver 2. So out of their wide receiver targets, Ben Roethlisberger targeted the wide receiver 1 position. I know that's Antonio Brown, 24.9% of the time. And the wide receiver 2 position was 24.6% of the time. I do understand we are talking Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster. So I'm not saying that either one of them is suddenly going to become, you know, Antonio Brown or the next Juju. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying here is that there is a huge amount of targets being vacated by Antonio Brown. Juju Smith-Schuster is not that good at creating separation downfield like he is in the slot. And I believe that is where he is still going to continue to live in the Steelers offense. So he may, if he gets like 25% of the targets that Antonio Brown left behind by leaving, we're still talking over 100 targets available for these wide receivers and for Vance McDonald, who I happen to love as well. So Dante Moncrief, one of his best assets is being able to create separation downfield and giving opportunity. Another thing that he's done is create excellent chemistry and rapport with Ben Roethlisberger, who relies on that trust to create plays on the field. He called out James Washington last year and told him he needed to learn how to play football if he's going to be incorporated into the offense, and we saw that happen. Now, whether or not James Washington can step up to the plate and be better this year, we'll see. So he could be heavily involved in the offense as well. But there are so many targets to go around. Dante Moncrief can do it all. He can line up in the slot. He can line up out wide. He can do whatever he wants to do. His best year that he had, I think it was 9 touchdowns. His longest touchdown was only on 25 yards. The rest of them were all like 11 and under. He can do it all. And that's exactly what Big Ben needs. Off the field in the locker room, it's so young, it's so volatile, everyone's flossing, taking selfies, and Dante Moncrief is the only one not getting in trouble or causing drama. Everybody likes that. That's one of the reasons I'm really big on Dante Moncrief. Guys, Deontay Johnson is a incredibly good, talented player. I get it, but he's a rookie on the Steelers offense. They technically do not heavily incorporate ever a rookie wide receiver unless it's on special teams. So look for them to develop him on special teams. I do like Deontay Johnson. Dynasty, pick him up. It's going to be great. James Washington still could be pretty good. I like Dante Moncrief a lot in this offense, and you can get him super duper late. He's going in the 9th round. It's totally worth it if you want to pick him up. If you don't believe me and you want to go James Washington, he's going even later, I think. So go for it. Have a piece of that Steelers offense. I like it. Let's see. Would I go running back if I could get 3 of these wide receivers? Absolutely. I would. In fact, I did a draft. I was drafting from the 2nd position. It was a mock draft, and I took 5 running backs in a row. 5 of them. It was on the Fantasy Whisperers 24-hour mockathon. And I took 5 in a row. They thought I was drunk. I swear to God I wasn't. And I ended up with a really awesome team because right after that, I picked up Tyler Lockett. I picked up Mike Williams, and I picked up 2 other guys. And I had an awesome, awesome team. But it depends on who you're drafting against. You have to know your league. You have to know your guys. And sometimes you might miss out on the one guy you were hoping for, so you may not want to push it past like 3 or 4 running backs, but it just depends on where you're drafting from and what order that you're in. I have no problem with that at all. It's a 0 wide receiver strategy. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. How worried should we be about... Oh, hey, Arsenal, how you doing? How worried should we be about Andrew Luck? Very worried. Keep an eye on him. He was my number 1. He was going to be my number 1 quarterback because I love him so much. Now he's not. So I am very hesitant on Andrew Luck. Keep an eye on him going through preseason. Every week it's going to be a new report. We just need to keep an eye on it. I don't like it. It sucks because I like Andrew Luck a lot. Yeah, big time worried for sure. So yeah, if you want to go off topic, heavy RB early with Kelsey in round 2. Do it. Do it. I mean, some people don't subscribe to that, but if you want to go running back, so if you guys want to do, like, I know this is off topic, but let me throw this out there. If you guys really want to target someone like Travis Kelce or Zach Ertz, you can have the opportunity to do that with a 0 RB strategy, which means you don't even look at picking up a running back until like rounds 5th or 6th. You can go a little earlier than that if you want, but do not use that strategy unless you're drafting later, like between, 9 and 12. Don't do that. Do the 0 running back when you're in that part of the draft. If you're in the early part of the draft, go 0 wide receiver. So that means you don't look at a wide receiver until, 5th or 6th, like we said before. So they're opposite. So that way you can load up on a stud tight end and stud running backs and still maintain value from the wide receiver position. Because wide receiver 3 and wide receiver 4 score more points than a running back 3 and a running back 4. But you can still get good running back value on the 0 RB strategy when you target the mid-round wide receivers. If you're waiting way too late, you're going to get crap, and you won't like that either. So is he off my board entirely? No, he's not off my board entirely. For my draft on Saturday, yeah, he is. But what I would do is I would think about drafting him, but I would have to have a really good second quarterback. So if you're going to be getting or thinking about drafting Andrew Luck, understand that you're going to have to pay some draft capital to get a second quarterback. That's up to you whether or not you feel that's best for you to do. I can't draft for you, but that's just kind of my take on if you really want to take Andrew Luck. Because if he's healthy, he's a beast. We all know that. But if he's not healthy, do we run the risk of wasting such high draft capital and putting him on our squad? So that's a tough one. I know it's so lame for me to just wait and see what happens, but unfortunately we're just going to have to keep going, which is why having your drafts later on in preseason technically is a lot better than super early, but sometimes we can't help that. Schedules are schedules, just how it works. So guys, tight ends. Here are some tight ends that I want you to look at. Evan Ingram, easy peasy. Besides him and Saquon Barkley, there's no one else. The only problem I have with Evan Ingram is because there is nobody else. Besides Sterling Shepard, Golden Tate, you've got Evan Ingram, and you've got Saquon Barkley, and Eli Manning can't throw the football. So everyone is going to be eating into each other's targets. That's the only problem I have with Evan Ingram, is that he's going really high, and I think there are better tight ends that you can get later, or even earlier if you wanted to snag one of those elite guys. I just don't know what his production is going to be like on a bad offense with a bad quarterback, with everybody basically catching the ball in the same part of the field because Eli can't throw it downfield anymore and there's no OBJ. I worry about him a lot, but a lot of people like him, so that's why I have him on this board. He is good. He is talented, so he's going to be on the field. There's no question about that. And that's correct. And Tate is missing the first 4 games. Hopefully he gets that appeal. Does anybody know that? I haven't kept track of that. Did his appeal go through, or did they still uphold the 4 games? And Jordan Reed. Yes, Jordan Reed is someone to keep an eye on too. He is on my do not ignore these 3 wide receivers. I don't have him on this list per se, but he is the only person that can actually catch a ball in Washington. Really sorry, Redskins. I'm not trying to be mean about it, but it was upheld. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. So he's gone 4 games. All right, well, that's a little bit better for Mark Ingram, Evan Ingram. Too many Ingrams. Ingram, whatever. So, and, yeah, so Jordan Reed, he has to stay healthy, which he did a pretty good job about last year, but it's a bad offense again. But he's literally the only person who can pass the ball. He is so desperately needed that you might as well take a shot at him. You can get him at the end of your drafts. So if you want to have him as a streamable option, take him. I really like him too. So, all right, next we have Hunter Henry. This is also a big kerfuffle with a lot of people. I like Hunter Henry this year. Guys, Antonio Gates is gone. Phillip Rivers really likes to target the tight end position. Guess what? Keenan Allen's hurt now too. Melvin Gordon's gone. I mean, come on, guys. I love Hunter Henry. I don't know why this is such a shock. He's in a completely different situation than he has been in, and he's healthy. So I have no problem with you guys taking, Hunter Henry. I'll target Hunter Henry when I can. Just depends on how my roster is looking. So Colt McCoy may not make the team. Doesn't surprise me. Greg Olsen is another one. I like him for real football, not fantasy football though. And then, Mark Andrews, my guys, Vance McDonald and Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is a beast, and he can be either going undrafted or he's going very late. You guys, he is going to be the next Zach Ertz or George Kittle. He can be that. I'm actually saying I think he will be. His numbers are ridiculous, and he is super hyper efficient. What he was able to do on only 34% of the snaps last year in the Baltimore Ravens offense with with 2 different quarterbacks, one of them who doesn't really throw the ball that much, named Lamar Jackson, is absolutely ridiculous. And they are starting to build some chemistry together as the quarterback tight end position. And what better way to build up Lamar Jackson's confidence in the passing game than to have your magnet hands tight end that's bigger than the Sears Tower there helping you out. I really, really like him. He's very George Kittle-esque for me, and you can get him really late. Great for keeper leagues too. Yes, so Henry was the tight end 19 that year that Allen was hurt between weeks 1 through 16. Yes, Chris, you're right. Yep. Dutch. Okay, you guys have that conversation. I'll let you continue on that. I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to bring this name up too. I just had to maneuver a little bit. Chris Herndon, another guy who is suspended for substance abuse. He's basically wide receiver 2 for the Jets. I understand that he is not going to be playing the first 4 weeks. Totally get it. I still really like him. He was the second leading receiver last year behind Robbie Anderson, who I also really love. I have absolutely no problem. If you guys want to grab him late in your drafts just to have him on your team, if you already have another tight end that you can start, especially when you're in a flex position when you can play 2 tight ends, I love that. And I think he's going to be productive. Sam Darnold had really good chemistry with him last year. And guys, Sam Darnold actually looks good. The Jets offense is shockingly, kind of pretty looking. I kind of like it. Crowder's hurt. So, yeah, I think he might be hurt for the season. I think he's out. So, yeah. Please tell me my name. Well, you just said it right there, so, yeah. Emmanuel Sanders, I think he's more of a bust potential but yeah, he will be their number 1 target. I'm not so sure. I'm not sure about the quarterback position there. So I'm kind of staying away from the wide receivers, especially if Drew Lock has to play. Trust me, I'm a Missouri girl. I know how he plays. Yeah, so I don't know. I thought Jamison Crowder was hurt. Or is he with the Jets now? I know. So hang on. I'm just looking this up, guys. Thanks for bearing with me. But yeah, any more questions that you guys have or any topics y'all might want to bring up? Jamison, no, not Jamison Cox. That's weird. Ha. Jamison Crowder. No, I guess he's not hurt. I wonder where I pulled that out from. Yeah, Jamison Crowder's another one. The Jets, man. Who knew? So weird. Maybe it was Jermaine Kearse that I'm thinking of. Maybe that's it. I'm getting my Jets and former Jets all confused. I think it was Jermaine Kearse that I was thinking of, who's now with the Lions. So I think that's what it was. Thank you for correcting me on that. Larry, and yeah, who doesn't like Larry Fitzgerald? I mean, you can take him if you want. He's going to be productive. See, AJ Green. All right, the whole thing with AJ Green being gone, I don't think it means that Tyler Boyd is going to have more production. He's going to just get more double coverage. I think that's what that means. So I'm staying away from the Bengals as well. Okay, yeah, I was cursed. Thank you very much for letting me know that one. Awesome. So I think that's it, guys. That's all I really have for today. And then we have the rest of the preseason games going on tonight. So I'm excited. Let me see if I can get in a few more questions here. Who's Schaller? Sorry, I missed that. About going wide receiver with top 3 picks. Depends on where you're drafting from to go wide receiver. Yeah, you can do it if you're drafting from the 9th or 12th position. I would do it and not have a problem with it. Or you can go wide receiver, tight end, wide receiver, and then get some value in your running backs. I think that works best for a PPR league because those guys that are falling to the 4th, 5th, and 6th rounds are better in PPR than standard. Who should be watching for tonight? Everyone. Watch for everyone. Yeah, the Tifa profile pic. You are welcome. I love Tifa. Yes, I do love Final Fantasy VII. One of my favorite games growing up ever. Not growing up. I was in high school, so still love it. Will I be doing a Sunday morning podcast for the season? I don't think so. So what I will be trying to frivolously answer your questions, but what you guys can do is follow Adam Rank from the NFL Network. You can find him on Twitter. Follow him on Facebook as well, facebook.com/Adam Rank. What he does is he does go live at 10 a.m. before the games. I am in his comments. You'll hear him talk about me. It's actually legit. I meant to be there. I'm in his comments answering your starts and sits. And you guys can message me, tweet me. I will try to get to as many as I humanly possibly can and help you. Yeah, Rank is a really good dude. I'm actually meeting him with the rest of our league in Vegas next week to draft. So hopefully I'll be able to do a Fireside Friday in Vegas with Adam Rank. Wouldn't that be really cool if I could have him with us on a Fireside Friday? That'd be really cool. I hope we can make it happen, but he's not coming in until really late, so maybe it'll be like a Fireside Saturday or like a poolside Saturday or something. We'll try to do something live. I'm not quite sure, but you guys enjoy your Friday. Hit me up if you have any more questions. Remember, hungover Fireside is about right, or probably just still drunk Fireside. That's probably what my Vegas trip is going to be. I will say hi to Rank for you, no problem. And you guys should be able to say hi to him yourself. Hopefully we'll go live. He's already said he would, so let's hold him to it. But yeah, good luck on your drafts if you have them, guys. Find me on Twitter. You can find me at Stepmom Lauren. You can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/Stepmom Lauren. Instagram at Stepmom Lauren. I have my own YouTube channel. Don't Google it. All porn. Go to YouTube and then search Stepmom Lauren. I'm only 10 subscribers away from getting my own URL for Lauren, for Stepmom Lauren, so I don't have to keep saying that. Vegas is a blast. I agree. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will be putting these out every Wednesday, every Friday, and hopefully I will try to do something for you guys on Sundays. Other than that, thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. Also, writer for the Fantasy Footballers. You can find all my stuff at stepmomlauren.com, including podcasts I've been on and will be on, my videos that are on YouTube, as well as all of my articles that I write for the Fantasy Footballers. I'll be coming out with some of my own, as well as for the Fantasy Whisperers, and also for my original home, thefakepigskin.com. Not the, but just fakepigskin.com. So you guys have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy yourselves and be safe. Now, this is that really awkward time when I try to, turn it off, and then you have to, get right into your face and be like, hi, guys. Have a great weekend. All right. Bye. Thank you, guys.